Welcome. Today we are going to look at sickness in school because today I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm also talking about this because I want to make a few issues clear about how schools handle sickness. If your child starts feeling unwell in school, what happens is he or she already knows what goes on if it's a child above 10 years. He knows where to go. In most schools, there is someone who's supposed to tackle that. Either there is a school matron who's trained on that, there is a school nurse, and even most of the national schools have a school CEO, that is a clinical officer handling that. But I don't know of any school that has a doctor. But at least they have a CEO. If a child gets a cold, he will go and see the school nurse and he will be given medication for that. That happens to also if the child, let's say, is cramping or any other mild ailments. But if the child is really sick, they'll be taken to the nearest dispensary or hospital, depending on where the school is. And when the child is taken to this hospital or the nearest dispensary, they do not pay because the government has already covered that. So they just need to go with their NEMIS number. The school ensures that the child has the NEMIS number with them as they go to the hospital or the dispensary, because the person who's accompanying them, either the nurse or the school CEO or the matron, is going to do what? To facilitate that. And this is to urge any parent who has a child in a different school where they were not admitted initially. They should ensure that the new school has the NEMIS number, especially for transfer cases, because that number is very important in the treatment of the child. That number covers all the expenses, no matter the ailment of the child, so the child is treated for free. When the child is taken to the hospital, most of the times the parent is notified that the child is where? Is at the hospital undergoing treatment. So as a parent, when you're notified that your child is not feeling well and he or she has been taken to the hospital, don't panic. It just means that they want to notify you about how your child is going on. And always, the child is undergoing treatment as you're being notified. Most of the parents come to see the child at the hospital as they're being treated. Others don't. They wait for the treatment to take its course. And then they maybe inquire from the school how the child is doing. Some of the parents also talk to the child to know how the child is doing, what he's feeling. But there are those parents who feel that they want to take their child to a different hospital. Most of the public hospitals can use the NEMIS number to treat the child for free, and a few private hospitals, especially if the child has a dental issues. Some of the dental clinics are able to be covered by the NEMIS. But if you're not comfortable with your child going to a public hospital, that's when you come in and take your child to where you want him or her to be treated, which is okay. But as a person, I feel that the child should be treated in these hospitals whereby they are taken, because they are given first priority. When they are taken to the hospital, the public hospital, and the child is wearing school uniform, automatically they don't first queue. Number two, they are given the best treatment. Remember, these doctors who are in the public hospitals are the ones who are going to do their locum in the private hospitals. So you should be able to give them a chance. Kindly allow your child to be treated in that public hospital where it is recommended by the government. It always works for the best. I've never seen any severe scenario. You will also find that most of the schools have a sick bay. So if your child is unwell in school, medication will be administered and they will be told to lay on the sick bay for observation by the nurse in charge or the CO in charge. As a parent, there are few things you can do to counteract sickness in schools. Number one, as you're doing your shopping, you can shop for antiseptic soaps like Dettol so that your child can be using that in school. Remember, we have many students in school and all of them are using the same showers and they are from different backgrounds. The antiseptic soap is going to get rid of any germs that your child might come across. And you insist on them using the soaps that you have done what you have shopped for. Number two, ensure your child has all the correct attires for cold, especially if the school is in a very cold area. Make sure they have 2 cardigans, make sure they have like 2 jumpers, they have socks. Most of these schools ask for 2 blankets or a duvet. Make sure they also have that because of the cold. Leg warmers are also important. Number 3, teach your child cleanliness. Insist on them cleaning their utensils immediately after a meal because some of them forget. Others don't want to. There are schools, like some of the national schools, clean the utensils for the learners. But most of the schools don't. The child is the one who's supposed to do it. You find, especially boys' school, they can keep the plate or the cup and then they clean when they need it. You see? Insist on them cleaning their hands before a meal or after visiting the what? The toilet. You might think this is obvious, but you would be shocked. Research has been done. Most of the males go to a urinal and they don't clean their what? Their hands. And on cleanliness, insist on them showering. They should shower at least daily. I don't want to say all schools offer a hot shower, but those who do are mostly in cold areas. So insist on your child showering daily. That's a story for another day about showering in schools, especially for boys. Another thing you can do as a parent is to encourage your child to get involved in extracurricular activities, especially sports. Because if they're in sports, they are going to make their what? Their body active. And most of the sports HODs insist on them practicing daily. Encourage them to go for the PE lessons. It helps a lot because most of the students who are active during games or during sports day, they rarely get sick. If your child is asthmatic, make sure they have the inhaler. You can insist on them even playing sports. As they're playing, they tend to forget that they're sick. And it's going to, I don't know, there's a way sports work. There are those students with malignance, I don't want to call it malignant, underlying conditions. Kindly, most of the parents forget to notify the school. And then when something comes up is when they say, oh, this used to happen before. No, notify the school early in advance. There's nothing which is going to happen if you notify the school. Actually, it's for the best because if something happens, the child will be well taken care of. She'll be given the right treatment because the school already knows. But you find out that some of the parents don't notify the school in advance. They don't notify the school before the child is admitted or on Form 1 admission. Remember, you're given that medical checkup later. And most of the parents just go to their friends or to the nearest dispensary and the form is filled without a checkup. And those, even know those who go to a hospital, this is Kenya. It's just field, kienyeji, without even doing a checkup. That medical letter is very important. Make sure you do what is right. And if you, as a parent, you don't do what is right, and the child sees from that point that you as a parent, you did that, you went for the shortcut method without being checked. Even him, he'll be triggered to be doing that in future. He knows there is a what? There is a shortcut method which is not correct. It's just like you're teaching your child to do what? To lie. Yet that medical checkup is very important. You have no idea. I hope you've benefited from today's video. Let me know in the comment section what you want I look at in the next video. Be blessed.